Hey guys, just to go over a little bit what's going to happen in the beginning, you're going to walk through that front door, you'll check in the front desk, and then from there you'll put your stuff away in the front. Make sure that you change into a fresh pair of sneakers. You don't have to buy a brand new pair of sneakers, you can get an old pair, clean them all up. We just want to make sure that we don't bring any rocks or glass from the outside onto the mat. We want to keep the mat as clean as possible, and keep in mind you'll be laying all over that mat. We also advise you to bring a towel to make sure you can swipe away the calories and all the fat you'll be burning away, as well as bring out some water. We do have a water fountain, but you can bring some water, and I would advise to bring a Gatorade if you haven't trained for a little while. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. You want to replenish those electrolytes. Bring something with a little bit of sugar when you're starting, so that if you're feeling a little bit dehydrated or if you're feeling a little lightheaded, you can sit down in the front and take a sip of that, and that'll bring you back to speed.
And that'll be a perfect way to get started. Before long, you won't need that anymore, because we'll teach you about your nutrition and what you should be eating and doing. But at the very, very beginning, you might need a little bit of help, and that's what we're here for, and that's what that Gatorade will also help you with, all right? Hope that's gonna help you out, and we can't wait to see you on the mat. So you ready to do this?
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna do the basic squat. That's one of the most fundamental exercises you'll learn, and we have different levels and different variations of that, but we're gonna keep with the real basic squat. So the number one thing you need to remember is you always wanna keep your ear over your shoulder and your shoulder over the hip. You wanna keep that alignment as much as we can. At the beginning, if you're first starting to get in shape, that might be a little bit difficult. We're gonna do the best we can. So Chris is gonna have her feet shoulder width. She's gonna be looking straight ahead. She never wants to look down to the mat. And she's gonna simply just hinge her hips back a little bit as she breaks her knees and comes all the way down, or actually bends her knees, not breaks her knees, right? So we're gonna go all the way down, squat, and come right back up. I like putting her hands in front, just the way she's doing it, to add a little bit of balance, just to add a little balance. Now keep in mind, your range of motion might be limited, so if you only do a quarter squat, just go a quarter squat and come right back up. That's fine, wherever you feel comfortable. We don't want you to get crippled your first workout, okay? The next movement from that is sometimes we might do a little bit of more advanced, which we call a jump squat. Now the most important part of the jump squat is keeping your knees soft, what we call. So she's gonna squat down, and she's gonna hop up a little bit, and squat down and jump. Now remember, see how her knees bend immediately? What she doesn't want to do is this, okay? You're gonna stop, and then bend those knees. That's really tough on the joints. You don't want to do that, okay? So you want to go at your level, wherever you feel comfortable with, okay? Now again, you don't have to jump. What she can do is come up and just spike her calves. That's equally as good too, just so you know. All right? The second exercise we want to go over is the front lunge. The front lunge. Again, her hands are shoulder width. Come all the way back and go to the other side. Right? She's going to go right to left in most cases. Now what's important, cameraman, come on to the side. What's really important is that her knee doesn't go over her toe. Right? And she can put her hands on her thigh for balance if need be, and stand right back up and go to the other side. That's what's really, really important. What we don't want to see is your knee coming over that toe. That's really bad for the knee joint. Again, you can go to your limited range of motion, so if you can't squat down, that's fine until you feel more comfortable and you get a little bit stronger. Remember, the back leg is what we call the trail leg. So that's the leg that you want to bend. Keep that in mind. Okay? We also commonly do a rear lunge. So when she's going to step behind, the same thing. We want to keep that knee behind my toe, her knee below her hip, straight away. There you go. And she goes slow and controlled. There's nothing speed. We don't want any kind of speed. Speed's your enemy in the gym. You know? Fantastic. Exactly what she wants to do. The next exercise we're going to do, which is really, really common, is called the burpee. Right? A lot of variations. We're going to stick to one basic variation, and you might hear our coaches say, hey, level 1 burpee, level 1 burpee. So what she's going to do is put her feet a little bit wider this time. She's going to squat down, put her hands onto the floor, throw her feet both back, down into a plank, jump forward again, head up, and stand up straight. That's it. That's a level 1 burpee. All right, down the road there's jumps and there's push-ups in there and all that stuff, but right now, level 1 burpee. Now, if you can't do that level 1 burpee like that, put one hand on the floor, other hand on the floor, one leg is back, other leg is back, front leg forward, back, and you stand straight up. That's another version you can do the burpee. We could also elevate your hand position if we need to. You could ask one of the coaches, we'll get you a step and you can elevate it, all right? Another exercise that's really common is a regular jumping jack. Believe it or not, a lot of people do the jumping jack wrong. We want to make sure that we get that full range of motion with hands and legs. So she's going to touch her fingertips at the top and come down. Now we do this one a lot, and sometimes we might get up to 50 to 60 jumping jacks. So when it gets a little bit tired, instead of just stopping, you can do what we call a side step. You side step. Both hands together. Both hands together. There you go. That's a side step. Anybody can perform that. That gets a little bit more difficult. So far, so good. So far, so good. We go to a push-up. Push-up. Now her hands are directly beneath her shoulders. That's really, really important. Her legs are shoulder width again, and her body's in perfect plank. She's not dropping her hips, and she's not, right? If you drop your hips for a minute, she's not dropping her hips like that. She's keeping them up like that. Her butt isn't sticking up too high. We don't want that. We want to keep it right here as best we can, right? So she's going to do a regular push-up. Good, that's an awesome, strong push-up. She's in great shape. But let's say, again, you're just starting out, so you're going to drop your knees to the mat. You're going to cross your feet so we get a better pivot point. Pick your feet up a little bit. Drop your hips just a tiny bit, and that's your lower her body. That's the range of motion that we want to try to do. All right, we don't want to stick that butt up in the air. That's going to change the whole dynamic of the exercise, and it's not going to get you the benefit. Even if she can't make it all the way down, come down halfway, all the way up, that's fine at the beginning. Remember, you're just starting out, and that's what you're here for, to get in shape. All right, the other one is the high plank. High plank, right? And she'll keep her feet really close together if she can, to make it a little bit more difficult, or she can go a little wider to make it easier and make it more comfortable, especially at the beginning. Then there's the low plank. Low plank, she goes on her elbows. Again, her elbows are directly beneath her shoulders. Her feet are shoulder width, and you can go from that position, which is an awesome position, really well. Good, excellent. Now we go into mountain climbers, another basic one. This one gets a little bit more tricky, right? And she's gonna bring one knee in and push the other knee out. Now she wants it when you touch the mat on the back, her toe is gonna stay up high. So this is not gonna touch, right? You're gonna run it. There you go, and you're gonna run it. Fantastic. Now, if you can't do that, obviously, it's a little bit tough. You're gonna just step your foot forward and step your foot back. That's the beginner version right there, until you feel more comfortable and you get stronger when you're exercising. Okay guys, so the next exercise we do a lot in the warm-ups, and we have a lot of variations that come off of this. So it's a squat, what we call a walkout. So she's simply gonna squat down, she put her hands on the mat, one hand calls over the other, walks right out into perfect plank, stops, and comes right back down. But she bends her knees right away and stands straight up. Squats, walks out, right? And comes back in. Another version we do is a stiff-legged walkout, when we're stretching it out a little bit, so her feet are gonna be really close together, right? She's not gonna bend her knees anymore, and she's gonna put her hands on the floor as best she can, and walk her hands forward as far as she can. As far as she can, even past her head, even past that head. And now she's gonna tippy-toe and walk her feet up, keeping her legs nice and stiff. That's a stiff-legged walkout. We stand up, we turn around, and we do it again. That's gonna help us stretch out and prepare us for the workouts. We may do this somewhere in the beginning, somewhere in the end of the workout. But these are the exercises that you need to do to really start getting further along your fitness program. And then there's the basic sit-up. There's the basic sit-up. Our knees are slightly bent. Now there's a few versions, right? We don't ever wanna put our hands behind our head. We wanna put our fingertips on the side of our ears, right, or in front of our chest. Now, Crystal again is in great shape, so she's gonna kind of roll her body up like a carpet. She's simply gonna tuck her chin down, sit all the way up, and come right back down again, right? You wanna keep your knees a little bit elevated, this way your lower back doesn't arch at the very beginning, okay? Now, another version of this, let's say you haven't done sit-ups in a long, long time, right? So we're gonna bend our knees a little bit more, and we're simply gonna reach up and touch both knees on one side or other side, whatever you want. Right in here and sit right back. There you go. There's your beginner version. You know, you can also put your hands over your head, and both hands are going to reach your right knee. You're laying back, both hands are going to reach your left knee. Another variation that you should be able to do comfortably, right, until you get into better condition. So in boot camp, we're going to be using those dumbbells quite a lot. You know, one of the most important things that I want you to do is always use the dumbbells in a safe fashion, right? So when we do any kind of pressing movements, we always want to call what we call neutral. We want to hold those dumbbells in neutral position so our palms are always facing each other. So let's say we're going to do a clean and a press. The clean is simply we're going to raise up like a hammer curl, and we're going to press it over our heads. And our palms are facing each other. That's one of the most important parts of using those dumbbells. When you do any pressing overhead, that'll eliminate a lot of injuries. I know a lot of people want to put the palms up, but unfortunately that puts a lot of stress on a rotator cuff, and we don't want to incur any injuries. We want to keep you as safe as possible. And the benefit from doing this to this is minimal, next to nothing. So if it's safer, it's better, and that's what we do here. All right, another simple one is you call it your stiff-legged deadlift. So one of the things that we want to make sure, again, is keep our spine in alignment, keep our ear connected to our shoulder, and our shoulder connected to our hip. So when she starts to go all the way down, she's going to actually look at the mat, come all the way down, and come all the way up. And keep those dumbbells really close to her legs. That's really, really important. You want the leverage point to be as close and as safe as we can, not to put any undue pressure on her lower back, which is really, really important as well. Okay, and all the other exercises we can use with dumbbells as well. When we do arm curls, real simple arm curls, she's gonna keep her palms facing in neutral position, and she's simply gonna come and rotate as she passes her legs, come up, her pinkies will be facing her shoulders, right? And then the dumbbell will come and unrotate them to the side of your body to get a complete stretch. We have battling ropes that we use in the boot camp as well. One of the most common mistakes is people straighten out those ropes all the way back and they start to pull as they try to use them. And that's totally incorrect. We don't want you to do that, and that's actually quite dangerous. So we want you to walk forward and create a little slack in the rope. So the rope kind of has a little bit of wave to it. And from there you're gonna have a light grip. You're gonna look straight ahead, little quarter squat position. Take that pressure off that lower back, looking forward, and you're simply gonna wave those arms. That's it, her arms are moving up and down, not just her wrists, her entire arms are moving up and down. And she's always breathing in and breathing out. Keeping that mouth slightly open, this way that air comes in and there's no problem. Real simple stuff, really basic, we're not complicating it. Really, really simple. Different variations of the rope as you learn as you go through boot camp. Right now, these are the basics that we just want you to understand the fundamentals so you get the most out of your first boot camp. Thanks for watching.